Battle Beast is someone who's dedicated to fighting and is constantly searching for worthy opponents. Boros is someone who is desperately seeking an opponent that can give him an enjoyable fight. It's pretty interesting just how many things these two characters have in common with one another. So, let's set up a story here. Let's say the Dark Matter Pirates existed in Invincible and was giving the coalition of planets a hard time. Alan, after hearing about them, decides to send Battle Beast to take care of them, and during his mission he encounters their leader Boros. So, who would win? Battle Beast, the Scourge of the Twin Galaxies, or the Dominator of the Universe, Boros? Even in his first appearance, Battle Beast is shown to be a force to be reckoned with, as he easily dispatches of Mark, who tackled Alan into the moon so hard it sent a large amount of dust and debris to fly into the atmosphere. Due to the size of the dust cloud, this feat was calculated to require 21 exatons of TNT to pull off, and Battle Beast easily took care of Mark. The next time we really get anything from Battle Beast is during the Viltrumite War, where he is shown several times to be capable of dealing with Viltrumites. There's even a point where he is literally fighting 5 of them at the same time, and some random Viltrumites are shown to be giving early Omni-Man and Invincible some trouble. After this, we really don't get much from Battle Beast, that is until Alan sends him to take on Thrag, the former leader of the Viltrumites. And while Thrag did win, Battle Beast was still able to do a lot of damage, with their battle also stated to have lasted for days, so Battle Beast should still scale to Thrag. Fighting Thrag is pretty much the best feat you can have in Invincible, considering Thrag literally ripped apart Omni-Man, Invincible, and the former leader of the Coalition of Planets, Theodos. These 3 Viltrumites, when working together with Space Racer, were able to punch through the Viltrumite's homeworld, destroying it in the process. Now, while Space Racer did play a role in destabilizing its core, which allowed Mark and the rest to destroy it, they still caused a massive explosion on the other side of the planet, ejecting a lot of it into space. This feat has been calculated to require each of the 3 Viltrumites to be producing small planet levels of energy, and Battle Beast scales to a guy who annihilated all 3 of them. I have seen potential arguments to get these characters higher though, as Omnipotus was stated to have destroyed a star system via a chain reaction, and then absorbed all the cosmic energy of that solar system. Omnipotus then gets one-shotted by Dinosaurus, who is massively weaker than guys like Thrag. However, do take into account that Omnipotus's power fluctuates heavily depending on how much energy he absorbs. So it's possible Dinosaurus only one-shot a weaker Omnipotus, however, it's still at least worth mentioning. So in terms of power, Battle Beast should easily be in that small planetary range, with him potentially being a starbuster using Omnipotus. But I think it's time to get into what this verse is known for: speed. I have seen a lot of people try and use Omni-Man traveling to Thraxa in around a week, but when looking into other material, this feat really isn't that impressive. In the official Invincible handbook, it states that Omni-Man's ability to hold his breath for weeks allows him to reach planets up to 10 light years away. While this certainly is impressive, it definitely implies that Thraxa is much closer to Earth than we thought. Another thing that the handbook says is that Omni-Man is actually making jumps in space when flying at max speed, which is the reason he is capable of traveling much faster than light. So unfortunately, him traveling to Thraxa is not really that viable. However, we still have characters like Space Racer, who is shown capable of moving between solar systems in around a week's time. Even assuming he only traveled around 5 light years, that would still suggest he is capable of moving over 258 times faster than light. And he was easily caught up to by Thrag, but unlike with Omni-Man, Thrag is actually shown quickly ducking, weaving, and changing directions, all while catching up to Space Racer's bike. So Thrag should have combat and reaction speeds comparable if not superior to this. So in terms of speed, Battle Beast, due to scaling to Thrag, should have combat speeds reaching well over 200 times the speed of light, showing that the Scourge of Twin Galaxies is not one to be taken lightly. Boros is arguably the most powerful monster in One Punch Man. Even in his armored state, he seemed confident in taking on Saitama despite knowing he has destroyed 23% of his ship, which has been shown capable of withstanding Saitama's multi-continental moon jump. In his released form, we finally start getting actual impressive feats from Boros, with Saitama calling the alien strong. Considering how he treats Boros, he should be stronger than guys like Orochi, as Saitama had absolutely no interest in Orochi whatsoever, despite the Monster King being able to absorb enough energy from the Earth's core to destroy small planets. But even going by direct feats, Boros was capable of dealing minor damage to suppress Saitama, the same Saitama who took absolutely no damage from second form monster Garou, who one-shot a guy stronger than Orochi. So in his released form, Boros should easily be in that small planetary range, with this being ramped up by his meteoric burst state. But the best thing his meteoric burst state has to offer is the ability to use the collapsing star roaring cannon, an attack powerful enough to obliterate the Earth, or potentially stars if you want to use the Viz translated version of the compass. But even without this, there are still potentially other arguments you can use to get Boros in those star-busting ranges of power. There are a few statements out there from things like volume covers and episode summaries suggesting that Boros actually forced Saitama to use the Serious Punch, which could be used to imply that the collapsing star roaring cannon is more powerful than Cosmic Garou's Gamma Ray Burst, which has enough energy to destroy large stars. So the star level interpretation may not be so far-fetched after all. In terms of speed, Boros in his release state was shown outspeeding a casual Saitama and parrying one of his punches, which is pretty comparable to what first and second form Monster Garou were doing to Saitama. And Monster Garou when Blitning Platinum S was calced at 188 times the speed of light, with this being consistent as he's clearly faster than guys like Flashy Flash, who has stated himself to be faster than light. Considering his meteoric burst state utterly shocked Saitama, that should make his speed well beyond what he was capable of in his released form, as well as well beyond the likes of Monster Garou, as Saitama only reacts like this after Garou obtains his cosmic form. So, how does this fight go? Well, in terms of power, released Boros and Battle Beast are pretty much comparable in terms of power, both casually being in that small planet level range. Battle Beast does have a notable edge in speed due to scaling to Space Racer, but it isn't a massive gap. Regardless, due to Battle Beast's insane stamina that lasts for days, I would have to say that Boros would be forced to transform into his meteoric burst state. When that happens, solely due to just how big of an ant meteoric burst is, I would have to say Boros would win more likely than not. But if you want to use Battle Beast's omnipotent scaling, then Boros would definitely be forced to use the collapsing star roaring cannon, and if you highball its capabilities, it should reach or even surpass Battle Beast, meaning either Boros would obliterate him with the star cannon, or Battle Beast would survive and take down Boros while he's drained of energy. But if you want to use more realistic scaling for both characters, I would have to say Boros wins more times than not. The winner is the dominator of the universe, Lord Boros. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you like my content, maybe hit that little subscribe button down there, and be prepared for my next upload as I plan to have a guest with me. But until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye!